What is up, everyone? You are now locked into SpecTalk. This is my podcast geared toward high performers obsessed with personal excellence and getting that 1% every single day in order to win. I am committed to bringing you the badass real talk, and today's going to be a good one, on what optimizes health and performance for entrepreneurs, executives, and high-level athletes from all pillars of my high-performance training system. So let's get into it. I want to share with you all how I got here. Let me tell you where here is and how I got here. And this is going to be like the no BS. Sorry if you get offended, if you're the wrong person, real talk, because you have to really be in touch with where you were and where you want to go in order to be able to articulate it and build a business around it. So here we go. What is here? Okay, here is Miami Beach. I am independently working as a high-performance health agent for executives, entrepreneurs, and athletes. People who are the 1%ers of the world because they do not have the time or the mental bandwidth or the skill set or the knowledge to do what I do well because I spent my entire life in fitness. And when you spend your entire life in fitness, people think that you don't have, adversity. They think that you don't have struggles that you went through to look like I have or to know what I know or whatever. And I'm going to reveal today how being here in my dream city has actually been quite the uphill battle. And I remember someone who seemed kind of psychic when I would talk to her, and I always question that. She said, well, Miami is going to be an uphill battle for you. And I at first, the little humble me was like, really? Tell me more, master. And the other part was like, fuck you. Like, what do you know about what's going to happen to me? Well, whether she was psychic or not, or whether it's just par for the course for any move, the last 4 years have been an uphill battle of sorts in certain areas. And I'm going to start with where it all began before I even got here on what started what I like to call the kick off the ledge. Those of you who have made major leaps in your lives to start companies, to get married, whatever it is that was a milestone for you that was hard for you to admit that you wanted, or hard to even get there, know that something had to serve as the kick off the ledge. You've been thinking about it, you're looking off the edge, and you know you should jump, but it's scary because you're not sure if the parachute's going to open, and and there's all this fear-based crap. I see a parallel with people in their fitness journey with this, by the way, but we'll dive into that into another episode. When you get to that level of you're on the edge, because you have a curiosity, you have a passion, but you don't have direction, you don't have guidance yet. But someone pisses you off so badly that you're like, okay, it's not just a running toward pleasure, but I'm actually trying to escape pain and bullshit. That's when you leap. So that's fortunately my situation. I was in a very, very amazing position at Purdue University. And I had done a kick-ass job for about 6 years. And then some administration changes, some boss changes who didn't see my value, questioned my intentions, questioned my capabilities, demoted me, and all of this stuff. That was my kick off the ledge. So while I'm sitting there running circles around my athletes at low body fat, high strength level, performing on stages with, my bodybuilding routines and winning my class and this and that, I got to a point where it was too much for somebody. And when you're too much for someone, you've outgrown the pond that you're in. No offense to Indiana, but coming from Philadelphia, a very large city, and spending lots of time in New York and Princeton and surroundings in the Northeast, small little Indiana was a microcosm of what I'm accustomed to. So when you spend too long in a place that you outgrow, you got to find, literally I found the ocean to dive into. I say this with no fucks given sort of attitude because our story creates our future. It connects with people like yourself watching and listening. And it allows me to help and push countless more people the way my situation pushed me, but maybe from a positive. So my goal was to create an environment where people were mentally tough on their own, because see, I was in a sports environment. So you talk about mental toughness, you talk about team and picking up your brother and sister and all this stuff, and yeah, you got to score, but what happens at the end of the day when there's no team? In the business world, you have to build that, you have to create the culture. I wanted to create a culture for my brand that was way more inclusive of people's talents and very, very high level with the people that I work with. And of course, not just work with as a team that helps me elevate on the business side, but the people that I work with, because I don't want to work with just any client that has money. I want to work with the 1%er that thinks like me, that networks like me, that wants to grow like me despite where they are. So the mindset of this journey is to take that, all that I learned in high performance in the college and professional setting in sports, and to apply it to here. And at the end of the day, I would never have been able to move, sell my house. That's a pain in the ass process. Move. I remember when I turned the keys in at closing, I was homeless till I got to the hotel and then got to my final destination in Florida. And it's a scary feeling trying to take that leap. Getting here, though, you go through these phases. This is also part of your fitness journey too, right? You're super excited and then something happens and boom, you question life and your direction. You're super excited, boom. This is such a parallel, this whole irony of my life and professional journey paralleled with my fitness journey as a bodybuilder, because when you've never gotten to a certain level of body fat, when you've never achieved a certain level of status with that, you don't really know what it's like until you just take one foot and put it in front of the other, and next thing you know, you're there and you're confident. The confidence that I had to be able to step away from my job, to step on stage and know that I did everything I could, was in the reps that I did every day, making it just be my lifestyle. Non-negotiable, not questioned, because I had every single day milestones that I was achieving that made me feel better about myself. I am a very achievement-oriented person, which is why, truth be told, not achieving something can hit me really hard and make me really upset. And I know a lot of you who are high performers and high achievers are going to resonate with this. The key is when you're at a certain place, and it doesn't matter if you're already making 7 figures, it doesn't matter if you're comfortable, with what you're doing with your body. There's always more to strive for, but the angle is different. Maybe if you're already running a successful company, how do I treat people better? How do I bring more people around me that can keep me in a better mindset when things get tough? Maybe athletically, if you feel like, I'm okay with the way I look, well, what's going to give you that edge? Like what I did gave me the edge to basically say, like, fuck you, I'm a badass. Like, yes, I'm a strength coach. Yes, I'm a bodybuilder. Yes, I've done my own personal modeling to celebrate my accomplishments. Why do I have to choose who and what I am? Let me just go to that better environment where I could be celebrated for being different rather than criticized for not fitting in. And that is something that has been a theme of this whole 2022 year, that it continues to come full circle. And I know a lot of you will be struggling with this. What's appealing to clients? What's appealing to business partners? What's appealing to a spouse? What's appealing in the dating world? What do my kids want to see? It's like the more you lead with what makes you thrive every single day, not just when you feel like it, it's the habit and the routine. What makes you feel so great? So how I arrived here, and ironically that I'm talking about this after having a revelation just last week, that I'd come full circle realizing that I even tried to change that to fit into places where it really didn't matter if I fit in, because I'm going to stand out no matter what. Whether it's personality, whether it's drive, whether it's mindset, whether it's physique, it doesn't matter. So I bring this to you today to really share and push you that in order to make change, whether it's in your physique, in your health, whether it's in your job or your business, whether it's with your relationships, you have to commit to what makes you you. Don't worry about who's not looking at you. Don't worry about who's looking at you and criticizing. Stick to that upper level 1%er mindset, as tough as it is, and do the damn thing and just see where it takes you. I promise you, if you bank on yourself, if you gamble on you, you will not lose. The house does not stand a chance. You will win. Thank you for tuning in for this little short episode. At Christina Spec on Instagram is how you can get a hold of me. Same thing on Facebook. And Christina at ChristinaSpecos.com. If you want to reach out, give me feedback or any other tips that you want to hear in future podcasts, let me know and tune in for the next one.